you can see as I drove in, lovely big car park, and there is just, I could only see one electric car charging point, and that was just on the left as you come in the car park. And then I'm just heading this way. I think this is where the start and finish area are. So from this map of the world just there, and I presume that's Captain Cook's voyages and things, this is where tourists and first timers welcome is. And there's a map of the course here as well. The course is slightly changed today. I saw a post on Facebook, there's a tree blown over somewhere, so they've had to do a slight diversion. So today I'm at Stewart Parkrun in Middlesbrough, event 570, and it's the 14th of December. It's nice to have some nice weather this week and not the wet, windy weather we've had over the last few weeks. First event was 7th of July 20... I've got the date wrong there for that, I'll have to check where that is. And they had 106 finishers, I guess it's 2014. They averaged 269 finishers. Last week they were 230, and the average finish time is 30 minutes 15 seconds. Record attendance is 588. That was event 387 on the 1st of January 2020. So many parkruns have their records on that date. Lowest attendance is 49. That was event 30. 26th of January 2013. So yeah, maybe the first event wasn't 2014. It's got to be before then as well. In 2012 it must have been somewhere around then. Male record is 15 minutes 48, female record 18:14. My stats, it's event 358 for me and 205th location. Parking I covered, yes there is plenty and it's free. There's two cafes, one up the slope from the finish, which is just the way I'm facing behind, or just behind where the camera's facing, and there's one inside the Captain Cook Museum. Toilets are located in the courtyard by the finish area. Course, 2 laps all on paths around the park, goes alongside the pond, through the wooded area at the back of the park, and start and finish are close to the main car park. It's probably a 50-metre walk from there. Volunteers here. If you want to volunteer, you can email Stewart at parkrun.com, or as I emailed them last week, just to offer to run and barcode scan, which they accepted because they're a bit short on marshals, so they moved a few of the barcode scanners onto marshalling who weren't running. You can opt in on your Parkrun profile, or if you're here every week you can just let them know if you're available. Maybe you've got an injury and you can't run. Lots of parkruns can be quite short of volunteers, so always appreciated, as I say every week. So this is a finish funnel, as I said, the volunteers there, and the toilets are in this building just here. More volunteers are now, but some have already set off to go around for their positions on the course. This is one of the other cafes, one of the 2 cafes. One's inside the museum and the other's the Henry's Cafe.
Down this little path here, but the pre-run brief will take place just on the map of the world here, okay? And then the run direct obviously sort of guides you down to the start point. It's just down in front of the chicken coop there. You're then going to run down towards the car park and turn left. Then you're just going to go around the outside of the car park and then left again. And as you're going along that path, you're heading towards the first little pond, which is. There it is. Stewart Park Lake. It's a lake, sorry, not a pond. So you're heading around that lake, and that takes you to your first kilometre. You're then going to come out of the lake. There will be someone there sort of guiding you, tapping you along. Then going to come along and going to go up a little hill. Okay, it's the steepest hill in the park, but there will be someone at the top of the hill cheering you on to get you up there. You're then going to go into the wooded section, which is, if you sort of look towards up here, you can see there's some trees, and unfortunately Storm Dara did do some damage. So there is a tree down, and it is blocking the path. It's just after about the 2 kilometre mark, but there is a marshal there to sort of guide you around. You're basically just going to go around the tree, and the public have sort of like, as they've walked around it, created like a little path anyway. Okay, so it's no worries. There is someone there. You're just basically going to go around the tree. So as you go, where am I here? So as we go through the wooded section, here you're then going to come out of the wooded section up to the top there. Look beyond.
There's just a couple of safety announcements. Corner, there's a tree come down that blocks the path completely. The route's going to be there as an extra marshal just to guide you around that. And then we've got Alden DG's corner, so again, just take extra care when you approach there. Milestones this morning. Kev Dove. Morning Kev. Kev's doing his 200th parkrun.
So from the RD briefing, it's just a 100-foot walk to the start. Just about ready to set off on the park run. No one seems to be wanting to go towards the front, and we're off. Remembering to do my steady start, but having said that, nobody seems to be going fast at the moment. Everyone seems to be taking a really slow, steady pace. I've not seen this before. I'm taking it really easy at the moment, and there's a couple of people at the side of me in like 6th, 7th place, something like that. I'm sure some fast runners will come through soon. It's a bit slippy this morning as well on the course. Course is 2 laps running a anti-clockwise direction. Normally all on paths, but there is a tree fallen down today which we have to go just maybe 20 metres, 25 metres across the grass for it.
Don't know where all the fast runners are either.
Except to this guy at the side, I've never seen such a slow start to a park run.
It helps because I'm barcode scanning, so I don't mind.
It's nice and cool, crisp morning as well this morning. It's nice weather for running in. Just a quick look back to see. There are quite a few people behind me, but they've only run 50 metres, 100 metres so far. Quite enjoying this nice steady start to a park run and not going off too fast.
Thank you.
I can hear a couple of people behind me though. I can hear the trainers on the floor. I'm sure they might be coming past soon. Taking a left turn here, and then we're going to go around the lake that's in the park.
Thank you.
Course is fairly flat. They did call it a hill, and I'll mention it when we get to it, but there's a very steady, gentle incline really, and then a tiny little bit of rise and fall as you get towards the top, but nothing too steep. Each lap is 2.5 kilometres. and the finish is just more fairly close to where the start was. This path's not too wide, but I can imagine if you're further back it could be a little bit difficult to pass people in as you go on the grass. So we've reached the end of the lake bit now and starting to double back. As I said earlier, the paths are quite slippery. There must have been a frost overnight and still a bit of ice on the paths in places.
Thank you.
I've not seen these when I did my warm-up. Got a 1 kilometre sign there. Just looking at my watch, that's a nice steady start. So this part's still flat that we're on here. When you set off, there's a slightest downwards incline for the first 50 metres, then it's been almost totally flat since then. There's like a U-turn corner, just got to be careful because it is slippery on here. I grabbed onto the bin to help me round, just hope I didn't pull the bin over, which I didn't. It's securely fastened. This guy that passed me, I seem to have caught him up again now. So from here, this little bit's flat, but we're just going to start rising up now to the highest point in the park on the course. I would say living in a hilly area, I find hills perhaps easier than people that don't, but I would also, people who live in genuine hilly areas probably would think that where I live is fairly flat as well, but I can do a 5k loop around where I live with 100 metres of climb on it easily. So again, it's just a very gradual rise just here, and it's when we get to this point here it's going to start to go a little bit steeper here. But it's not too far, you just go up here maybe 100 metres and then you do a right turn and then it just drops down a little bit before going up again, so you do get a bit of rest as you go up. Just a quick look back there to see where the guy was that I've just passed. It's just dropped away a little bit. Going to do a right turn just here. That's the highest point just there, and we're now just starting to go slight fall down a little bit. And now we're going to start going, starting to rise up a little bit again now, but it's not too far. It's certainly not steep.
One in September.
So that's it, we've just gone up that little bit of a climb just there, turn left.
Thank you.
And then now we're not quite at the highest point, but there's just the slightest little bit of rise and fall as you go along this path. So just going up a little bit just here.
Thank you.
A fair few twists and turns on this part as well. Still feeling quite good for the first lap as well. Police out for a walk in the park. So it's now flattening off. somewhere along here they said there is a slight detour because there's a tree that's fallen across the path. So yeah, so this is where the tree's gone across the path, you can see in front. So we're just going to have to go across here. This is very slippy on here. I have to slow down quite a bit on here just to make sure I don't fall over. But you can see it's not far, we're back on the path now. Luckily the tree failed to stop Parkrun.
Thank you.
We're now sort of going, I would say downhill, there's a slight little rise just here. And then it should be downhill to the end of the first lap. It is, we're going downhill now. I can hear a couple of guys really close behind me here as well. And we come past. So just round this little bit of pond just here, and then we're almost back at, that'll be 2.5 kilometres done, and back where we started.
Thank you.
This is it, it's just where we started, just in front, just here. And on the next lap round, for the finish, you just go on the right hand side of these cones just here. And then this little round circle where these two guys in front are going, this is where we run across the world. There we go, over North America. And then starting the second lap. Starting to feel a little bit tired now to say I've just run downhill. Could have been able to recover a little bit there, but legs are feeling heavy. It's down to a lack of running for this last 3 or 4 weeks being away on holiday. I can certainly tell that I've not been running as much. So we're about 1,500 metres into the second lap. Got to be careful on this corner, definitely slippy. Had to ease off a little bit. Just a quick check back. See two guys behind me, but they're quite a distance behind, maybe 7 or 8 seconds behind. Don't feel too bad on this second lap, but starting to feel a little bit tired. Like I said earlier, I can tell I've not really run much for the last few weeks. Two guys in front are starting to open up the gap. Quick check to see how far behind the two guys behind me are. Well, actually did look a little bit closer just there, but hopefully I can maintain this position. Got 3 kilometre sign there. Trying to save a little bit of energy because I know we've got the gradual incline and undulating part of the course to go on, which to me, no matter how prepared I am for it, you still seem to get really out of breath on those parts. Like I said, my legs are starting to feel a bit tired and heavy now. onto the little round the lake section. Really nice this morning weather with the sun shining in our eyes. Wasn't sure whether the camera would be able to pick anything up because I could hardly see anything along here with the sunlight. Around the bottom end of the lake and then back up towards the path that we turned off from. I was thinking I wanted to go left here, but it's further down where we do the U-turn.
Thank you.
Very much looks the same as when I was on the first lap there. It confused me a little bit. Here we are, this is it. This is back onto the path. To the left, just got to be careful because it is slippy. And then it's along here and then we do the U-turn and then start the gradual incline to the highest point in the park. I'm not sure if you could see there on the camera, but the two guys in front, one of them nearly went flying on that corner. I shall grab onto the bin again as I go around here. Now I know the bin's securely fastened to the floor. Do have to ease off though, you certainly couldn't push around that corner. I seem to have opened up a little bit more of a gap to the guy behind now. So this bit is flat just here, but we are going to gradually start to rise up. Just what I've saved a little bit of energy for going up here. Once you've gone up this first bit, the rest of it is not too bad, it's just a little bit undulating. This is the only really long stretch with an incline, but it's not steep. Looking at this sign, yeah, that's the 4 kilometre sign. When it's laps I have to look to see because obviously you pass the 1k sign again and the 2k sign again. So just the last kilometre to go. Probably the hardest kilometre this because of the incline and the undulating part, but at least it's downhill to the finish. Like I said on the first lap, it's just a short section here where you go up once you get to these trees and then you do like a right hand turn and then it goes down a little bit. So you do get a slight rest then. Double checking. Ever since I got passed on the line about 5-6 weeks ago, I seem to be looking back a lot more now to make sure no one's going to sneak up on me. And if I can see them coming, put a bit more of an effort in. Although I do feel quite tired going up this hill now. I've saved a little bit for here, but I know once I get around this corner, this is sort of just let my legs go a little bit, downhill here a little bit. And then as we go around to the left, we're going to start going back up again now, but not a steep hill by any means. Almost at the top of this little bit. Left turn here, and then we're heading back towards the finish then. This is just a little bit twisty turny in parts and just slight rise and fall. Not really any incline on this bit at all.
Thank you.
We've got a tail walker here. Wondered if we're going to see them on a, sometimes on a 2-lap course you catch them up and sometimes you don't.
Well done you.
It's now flat just here at the highest point. I think there's maybe the slightest little bit of rise and fall, but nothing much. And soon we'll start to head back down towards the finish. Just got to go around the tree that fell over the path again. Just have to be careful on that bit because it was slippy and muddy. So yeah, once we go left here, it's either downhill or flat to the finish now. Can't believe how fast this lady's running just here. She set off as she was walking and I struggled to keep up with her just there. She's got better trainers for mud than I got on today. I've got my road trainers on, and because it was icy they're a little bit slippy, and with the leaves as well. But I can tell my pace has picked up a bit here now on our way to the finish. Like I said, it's sort of downhill there and then it's either just a few flat bits here and then gradually downhill again. Past the park walker.
Thank you.
Another quick check there. It's definitely caught me up. The two guys that are behind me there, but it's not far to the finish now. Volunteer jogging round there. Legs do feel really tired now. I've had a quick look at my watch. I feel like I should have been at least 30-40 seconds, if not a minute quicker to where I am at the moment. But that's just my current level of fitness. Certainly picked up my pace now since I looked back before. Make sure I can keep these two guys behind me.
Thank you.
Not far to the finish now, back on the main path any second. There we go, I can see the finish now. Just pushing for the line, wherever the line is, I'm not sure. This is the finish funnel. I can see the finish just round this corner. That's it. 22:04.
Thank you.
And I'm not sure of my position. I was 6th place. I actually thought I was about 7th or 8th there, but I thought someone had come past me. Quite pleased with that. Now I'll get the token scanned.
And you, well done.
So some of the finish area that's there, don't know if you can see for the sun, you just walk this way through here and the Café is through here. This is Henry's Café and it is cash only. When I went in the coffee shop, they do take card. It's just this week that they've got a problem with the card machine, that's all, and that's why they've got the signs cash only up. Quick course review, 2 laps, normally all on tarmac paths, but because there was a fallen tree, we had to just go on to a slightly downward section that was slippy and muddy. I just had to take care on that little bit, that's all. It's not totally flat, a few twists and turns on the course. The paths were a little bit icy today, so we had to take care as well on corners. You couldn't run as fast as you wanted to. There's some inclines on there, they call them hills, but I wouldn't call them hills, just slight inclines, nothing too bad to do. Lovely course. You run over the world as you finish your first lap as well. That's something different about this park run than other park runs. And yeah, very nice course. I certainly recommend coming here. So that's another park run done. Been to the coffee shop, course review. I'm just walking back. Going to walk back over the world again as you walk back to the car park. I'll just show it on camera again. You need to be close to it really to see what it is. But thank you for watching my videos. I hope you enjoy them. As I say, if there's any more information you want, just add a comment on the video. That's fine. Please click on the subscribe button, the bottom corner. I do see from the stats there's a lot of people watch videos, my videos, that aren't subscribers. Doesn't mean you have to watch them when you subscribe, it just means you get a notification, that's all about each video. So this is the world, map of the world on here. South America, North America, Africa, Europe and Asia there. It's all about, I presume, Captain Cook and his travels around the world. So thank you for watching and we'll catch up next week to Parkrun. That's a wrap.